Good day, everyone. My name is Mariel Lipodon from Beside English GB, and today we're going to discuss the country which is Korea. So, together with my partner, Miss Michelle Lamigo. So, Korea is known as the land of the morning calm. So, why is it called as the land of the morning calm? So, as people says Korea known as the land of a morning calm because it has a great natural beauty featuring stunning mountains, clear waters, and serene countryside. So indeed, its tranquil scenery has led to Korea for being traditionally known as the land of the morning calm. So now we're going to proceed to the geography of um, Korea. So Korea is a peninsula region in East Asia called as the Land of Calm. So Korea is the modern spelling is Korea. So the name was attested in the early English in the year of 1614. So the Amnok River is one of the river that separates from Korea from China to the northeast, and also the Duman River. It is also separates from Korea from China and Russia. And the peninsula was surrounded by the Yellow Sea, which is, as you can see on the map, there is a Yellow Sea there, and the East China Sea and Korea. So the Korea is divided into two diversity, which is the South Korea or known as the Republic of Korea or known as the Republic of Korea, and the other one is the North Korea or the Democracy. The other one is the North Korea or the Democracy People's Republic of Korea. So next is the education system of South Korea. So South Korea is consists of 6 years elementary school and 3 years in the middle school and 3 years in high school, and they do not have to pay for their education except for a small fee called a school operation support fee. So the main reason why students are not required to pay for their school fees in South Korea is because of the country's educational funding system. So the government allocates a significant portion of its budget towards education. So it is ensuring that schools are adequately founded and able to provide the quality education to the students. So we are done to the South Korea. Now we're going to talk about the North Korea. So the capital city of North Korea is the Pyongyang. So it has 25 million population. So it is also known as the decent and small communities of ethnic Chinese and Japanese that is located in the North Korea. And also North Korea has the world's fourth tallest flagpole flying of around 270 kilogram of the flag, and it's 160 meter in height. Education system of North Korea. So children go through 1 year of kindergarten, 4 years of so according that so education of North Korea. So according education system of North Korea. Education system of North Korea. So children go through 1 year of kindergarten, 4 years of primary education, and 6 years of secondary education. And on the university, it consists of uh, primarily of universal and state-funded schooling by the government. So the most prestigious university is the Kim II Song University. So traditional music in Korea includes the combination of folk, vocal, religious, and ritual music styles. So Korean music is falls into two broad categories, which is literally means the local music or the music for the native to Korea. Like for example, the Sojikshon or a piece of instrumental music as old as 1,300 years, and another is the Yangak, which represent a more Western style. So that's the traditional music in Korea. Next is the Next is the traditional Korean dance. So, Korean people have been inherited a variety of folk dances such as the Salpurikyum, or in English it is a spiritual purification dance, and also the Gutchung or the shamanic ritual dance. The second, it is more on rituals. And the next is uh, Taepyeongmo, or the dance of peace, and the Haliang Chung or the idlers dance. So it is more on the idlers. And Butcham Chung or the fun dance. It is more on their on how dance or a fun dance, and a Gyumu or a sword dance, and the Shungmu or the monk dance. So Korea has also a traditional dress for women, which is also known as the hanbok. So hanbok consists of jaeguri, or means the top, and the chima is means of the skirt, and it is often assembled as known as the chima jaeguri. It is known as the chima gai. This is often assembled, or this is often known as the chima chaiguri. For the women, it is known as the chima geogri. For men, handbook is consist of jaiguri, or the loose fitting baji or the trouser. So there is also a variety of different vests, jackets, and coats on the top of this that is assembled. So for women, there is Jeongsam, Dangsam, and Wonsam, and many more. So, and many more. Next is the traditional house. So a hanok or a Joseon jeep is a traditional Korean house, also known as house, or hanok is or first designed and built in the 14th century during the Joseon dynasty. Joseon dynasty.
Especially to our professor, Sir Oscar Duma. My name is Michelle M. Lamigo from Bised English 3B, and I am the last reporter for our group, and the topic that was assigned to me is the Korean early literature. Classical Korean literature has its root in traditional for beliefs and folktales of the peninsula, and it was strongly influenced by the Confucianism, Buddhism, and Shamanism. Korean early literature began as an oral tradition, wherein good was rewarded and evil was punished. Values like loyalty to the king, respect for the elders, true friendship, and chastity were emphasized. And the other poetic forms that flourish briefly include the following. There are four major traditional poetic forms. Number one is Hayanga, or what they call the native songs. Number two is Pyolgok, or the special songs. Number three is Changa. These are the long poems. Number four is Tijo, or the current melodies. Next is the Gyeonggi style in the 40th and 50th century. It is the most representative akang in this early Korean literature. The next is the Yongbi o Chonka, or Songs of Flying Dragons. It is a cycle compiled in praise of the founding of the Yi dynasty. And Korean poetry was originally meant to be sung, and its forms and styles reflect its melodic origins. So let's proceed to the modern Korean literature. This is the period that they often call the period of enlightenment. And under this period, we have Joseon, or the formation of modern free verse poetry. Next is the Pilgrim's Progress by John Bunyan. It is the first printed work of fiction in Korea. And the first complete edition of Bible in Korea was published in the year 1910. Next is the contemporary Korean literature. During the colonial Korea in the year 1910 up to the year 1945, free speech and press were restricted. Literature focused on self-discovery and increasing on the concrete reality, and many novelists experimented with new literacy style and other techniques. In 1919, Kim Tong-in and Kim Yok founded a literary magazine that is called Changjo, and almost the magazine in this year were ordered to discontinue publication in the 1940 of the Japanese frightened the grip with the spread of their aggressive war to the Pacific. There are magazines appeared during the 1920s and 1930s were the basis for the future development of the modern Korean literature. Many novels of the 1920s are centered around themes of the sufferings of their intellectuals. Also, the Korean literature was directly affected by the Japanese government, strengthening ideological coercion during the 1930s. Next is the notable Korean writers in their literary works. We have Park Hwan-soo. He was born in 1931 and experienced first-hand the horrors of the Korean War. And one of her works is the Namok, or what we call the Naked Tree, that was published in the year 1970. Next is Ko Yoon. He was born in 1933, an active participant in the democracy movements of the 1970s. His poetry is grounded in the modernist tradition and is marked by the sense of vitality and dynamism. Next is Hwang Sok-yong. He was born in 1943 in Japanese occupied with North China. And his first published work is The Pagoda, that is published in the 1970, as well as The Shadow of Arms that was published in 1985. Next is Cho Wi-yoon. He was born in Seoul in 1945. He won Yi-sang and the Dong in literary awards. So one of his notable works is The River of Fire. Next is Yu Senshin. He wrote a famous diary called the Nanjong Liki. It is a famous war diary. Next is Wang Sini, famous gazing female entertainer, and also known for her poetry and literary talents. Next is Wang Sok-yung, a contemporary novelist known for works like The Guest. He also wrote The Old Garden. And next is the Gagok. Gagok is a long lyrical song or a genre of Korean traditional vocal music. It uses Siju Korean traditional poetry. And for the last is Hongil Donjon. It is the first novel that is published in Hangul. It is a work of social criticism that is cuttingly attacked the inequities of Sojun with its discriminating differences based on the wealth. So, thank you for listening. That ends of my report and presentation.